So dumb. Good morning, everyone. All right, let's try that again. Can't hear me. Hopefully you can hear me now. I don't know why my mic was on mute. Doesn't make any sense at all. But here we are. Let's make sure everything looks like it's working now. Yep, everything looks good. Totally my fault. Good morning, Fred and Lisa. Hope you guys are good. Michael Hennessy just got off the breakaway in the first week of November. Had a great time in Bermuda. Lots of kids. That week is very busy for kids. It was on my list to reach out to you and ask you how the weather was. How was the weather in Bermuda, Michael? I wanted to check and see how that was. Leslie Trent, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Kevin and Gary Ann, how are you guys doing? How was Celebrity? How did you guys make out for your Celebrity cruise? You guys tired? Are you recovering? How's everything going? I wanted to check in with y'all too and see how everything went. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Hopefully the volume's fixed now. Joe Watson, hello and good morning. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything's good. Mike said, it's been 3 weeks since we disembarked the Meraviglia, but is it April yet? And your mic is muted. It's on now, but thank you very much. I did screw that up. Mike, hope you had a great time. I know you had a great time on the Meraviglia. We'll be on the Meraviglia 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. No cruise news that day. Maybe there will be. Who knows? Maybe I'll jump on the Meraviglia and do some cruise news. Depends on what time I can get on the ship, but it probably won't be that early in the morning. So probably be a video, and then we'll do something. AJ and I will do something for embarkation. Good morning, Tony Diaz. How you feeling? How's everything in Kneeland? How's rehab going for you? Good morning, Hope. How are you doing? Hope you're doing very well. Good to chat with you this week. Kathy, how you doing? How's everything going? Happy Sunday morning to you. Michael Hennessy, amazingly clear, sunny lows to mid-70s. That is pretty much perfect weather for me. I shall take this. I'll take that every time. And that's a good week. You're like right at the end of Bermuda season there. It's nice. You're just praying for no tropical storms. That's all. So that's good too. Cheryl said, Saturday, go on my first cruise on Carnival Legend. I hope you have a great time, Cheryl. Sometimes those older, smaller ships are just a blast. I hope you have so much fun. So much fun. Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Kathy said, off Escape last week. Great itinerary, great ship. Love Escape. Did you guys get to see Choir of Man? Let me know in the chat there, hopefully. Kevin said, we are exhausted, but fun times. It is exhausting. You guys did 2 cruises in a week, 2 different ships. You got to get off. You got to get back on. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then at least you did Celebrity second. I think that was very smart because you had the super exciting one first, and then you get on the kind of a little more laid back one, but really good food. And hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you enjoyed all the food. Tony Diaz said, going good. I should be doing the cha-cha in a few weeks. Let's hope. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Donnie said, finally caught a Sunday live. Good morning, John. Good morning, Donnie. Hope you are well. Coffee is going out. It reminded me, coffee's going out tomorrow. Sending out all the coffee tomorrow. All t-shirts have been shipped already, so coffee will be going out again tomorrow. Joe Watson said, finally waiting for just waiting. I don't know where I saw Donnie said finally. Waiting for the getaway first week of February. Hope you have a great time. I had a great time on the getaway last time I was on it. We were on a 10-dayer on the getaway for Labor Day last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. We had a really great time. I love that ship. $1 Million Quartet, really good. The Broadway show on there is really good. They have some good shows on there, shockingly, compared to Breakaway, which doesn't have any. All right, let's get into some cruise news today. So we got a little bit of cruise news. Carnival has brought back the old midnight buffet. So the midnight buffet is coming back to Carnival Cruise Lines. Carnival is expanding their late night food options and to add more variety to the ship's buffet that starts at midnight. Of course, John Heald announced this week on his Facebook page. Poor John Heald, who just gets tortured by people. We are now going to have food options that will move from the pizza chefs to the Lido buffet. You'll be able to get chicken tenders, soup, sandwiches, cookies, and a bunch of other things. There is a menu, and the menu has all different types of, you can get a pepperoni pizza, cheese, or a vegetable pizza fried chicken tenders, hot dog, meatball sandwich, ham and cheese roll, French fries, chocolate fudge cake, cookies, and then soup, potato salad, chips and salsa, all that stuff. So that is super exciting. I unfortunately am not up late anymore, so it's not that big of a deal for me, the Carnival Midnight Buffet, but I will on my January, is it January? Yeah, on my January Carnival Celebration Cruise, I will certainly go up there and check out the Midnight Buffet. Hope said, so I noticed I can't input any info or pictures till 30 days from the sailing with MSC. Do I have that right? It has to be all done through the app. You can do it on the app or the website, but yeah, you are correct. You can't do anything until 30 days prior. You cannot check in or do anything. All the cruise lines are different. I wish they would just come up with a cruise standard. It's one of the issues. I think sometimes everybody does things differently, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's not. For check-in, I don't like it. So hopefully they will open that up and make it so that all the cruise lines are the same and all the process is so different for all the different cruise lines. I have like a little cheat sheet. If you've never been on a cruise before, I'll send you a cheat sheet of like how to check in and everything. But yeah, 30 days before. And I'll have new cheat sheets in a week. Actually, I'll put in something right now to get that done because Meg's going out on maternity leave soon. So I'm going to have Meg do some stuff before we get her out, so I can get her some work done before she leaves. Let's do cheat sheets for Meg. She's not going to have any idea what that means. Hopefully, I will remember when she asks me about it, which is very funny. Fred and Lisa said, I walk the decks at night. LOL. Yeah, same. I do sometimes. I walk the decks early in the morning, obviously, because I'm trying to film and do things like that. But it's nice when it's quiet out. But for the Midnight Buffet, it might be a little bit of a wild time. It really is. When I first read that, because one of the things was I remember cruising back in the 90s when they did have the Midnight Buffet, and I thought it was awesome. But Carnival's has gone a little in the other direction since then with fights and wildness and drinking. I'm actually surprised that they're bringing back the Midnight Buffet. I feel like it's encouraging that late night behavior, but who knows? Maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll get some food into people and they won't be as drunk. Always look at the bright side. Yeah, I'll send it out to you, Hope, this week as soon as I have Meg knock them out. So you have a little cheat sheet for how to get things done. Next bit of cruise news. Coral Princess had a little bit of a norovirus outbreak this week. They had 70 people on board sick, including passengers and crew. There are 1,900 people on board that ship. So 15 were crew, 55 were passengers. Look, it happens. It happens on land way more than it happens at sea. But always, this is one of my big pet peeves on why people don't wash their hands when they walk into the buffet. We need to force people to wash their hands. That's it. It's one of the leading causes, and I wish we could make the cruise line serve people at the buffet. It would cut down a huge chunk of these things, which they did during the pandemic, and it seems like everybody just forgot all about or didn't care about once that went away. Next bit of cruise news, MSC Divina has arrived in Miami for the winter. AJ is going on Divina at some point. I forget when. She's going on Seaside or Seaview in a couple weeks or a month in January. I have Divina booked as well, and I also have Grandiosa booked for next year. So that should be very, very fun. But Divina is here. Speaking of ships coming over across for the winter, Odyssey of the Seas on its way over here. I know Sandy and Bob Schifferly are going on Odyssey very soon, so they will be on that ship. I was supposed to be on Odyssey December 1st, but we switched it to Meraviglia just to save some cash. It saved us about $3,500. It's a lot of money. So Odyssey coming over here, which is awesome. Leslie said, the Legend offered the Midnight Buffet out of Baltimore. It was crowded last year. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, people are up late on Carnival more than they are in pretty much any other cruise line. So, for sure. Tony said, is there a difference between Royal and Carnival check-ins? There is time-wise. I think Carnival's 21. I always forget. Carnival is 21 days? I'll tell you in a sec. Got to log in here to Carnival. So check-in is December 29th. So yeah, 21 days for Carnival. That's a huge difference, right? Because Royal's 45. I mean, after that, it's all pretty similar. You're putting the same information in, you're getting everything set up. You're picking your time to arrive to the terminal. So pretty much the same, but way different times. So Norwegian is 21, Carnival's 21, MSC's 30, Royal's 45. It's just confusing and silly. Like pick a time frame and everybody should stick to it for cruising. But I get it. They're all individual companies, so who knows? Tim said off escape last week. Great Mediterranean round trip to Barcelona. That is awesome. I'm so glad you guys had a great time. Really, really awesome. Next bit of cruise news. Carnival has announced this week they will be staying in Baltimore for 5 more years. They signed a contract to keep the cruise line sailing out of Baltimore for another 5 years. The Maryland governor reached an agreement with Carnival Cruise Lines. Again, who knows what ships are going to be there? Obviously, it's going to be smaller ships, but it is really nice to have options that are close in the Northeast area specifically that give us an idea and help us, give us the ability to go on different cruise lines, different cruise ships out of this Northeast area. With Philly coming on board now, I think it's really, really encouraging that we're getting a bunch of different things going on. So speaking of, NCL has decided to add a second ship to Philadelphia for 2026. Leslie Trent and I were talking about that this week. So the Pearl will be added to the docket. If you don't know, I think one of our very first videos that we ever posted was on YouTube was about our nightmare cruise on the Pearl, which was hilarious. And I love Norwegian, and I'm going to go on the Pearl. So I have that booked for 2026 already. So I have the Jewel and the Pearl out of Philly, both booked. Going to save me a lot in travel, which is really nice. So, the Pearl is an older ship. Hopefully it will get some refurbs and get some people to go on it and try these smaller ships out of Philly. I hope so. I hope the crowds are good. I'm a little nervous about that, but NCL did add a second ship. If I go on that one, or maybe if I go in Jewel and then I see it's a nightmare, then I won't do it, but I think it should be fine. Michael just said, are the Eagles Super Bowl bound? I don't think so, Michael, and I'll tell you why. Not that anyone cares, but I will tell you why. So this will be 3 years in a row. We started off 8-2. We made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We collapsed last year epically. I think there's a huge disconnect between the quarterback and the offensive coordinator and Sirianni. So I don't think so. I just think there's too much of a rift there, and I think Sirianni is going to be the odd man out. So maybe next year, but we shall see. Who knows? They're playing great. Saquon Barkley's been amazing. Thank you, Giants. Next bit of cruise news. San Juan, the port of San Juan, has held up the Symphony of the Seas this week. There was some technical issues, poor weather, and some medical things have screwed up the port there. As you know, Symphony is a very large ship. San Juan has let them know they cannot take them at the moment. There's a little bit of an issue. So they cannot go there on their next sailing, which is leaving Miami today. So it's going to screw up that itinerary for people who, of course, a lot of people love San Juan, but there's nothing they can do about it. They are going to skip the visit to San Juan, and they're adjusting the itinerary instead. So it's still going to go to Perfect Day, and then the rest of the itinerary will be the same, which is going to be they're skipping St. Martin as well. Really interesting. So they're going to go to Perfect Day first, then they're going to go to Labadee, then they're going to go to Puerto Plata. All those ports are great. I think that's awesome. Also going to go to Nassau. Who cares? Such a who cares port, Nassau. So there you go. That's interesting news for Symphony of the Seas. Tony said, at least your teams know what a Super Bowl looks like. Yeah. Look, New York's tough, Tony. It's that Jets team. I don't know what's going on there. Aaron Rodgers, what a wacko. Next up, Fred and Lisa said, I think I'm going to be heartbroken. 2 things I want in a cruise was Symphony and Bar Harbor. And it looks like you're not going to get either. Can't cruise for a year. Yeah, that sucks, Fred and Lisa. I'm really sorry about that. Bar Harbor, yeah, doesn't look good. They're going to continue to fight the fight there, but definitely not big ships going there in the future. So who knows? Symphony will be leaving at the end of this year. Who knows what we're going to get in 26 through 25. Symphony will be through 25. So we shall see what winds up happening there. It'll be announced in January what ship we're getting in Bayonne next. So hopefully it's a big ship. We shall see. A few other cruise news stories. The NCL Star has gotten its 80-ton stabilizers replaced while it was in dry dock. That should help make for some smoother sailing for everyone who's going to be getting on the NCL Star. And then NCL has announced Prima is heading to New Orleans. So that'll kind of be the biggest-ish ship that's sailing out of New Orleans, which is really nice if you like going out of that port. I didn't particularly care for that port. New Orleans is obviously super fun. There are a ton of great things to do in New Orleans. I just really didn't enjoy the chaotic nature of that port. But it was pouring rain too, so I'm sure that contributed to it. And then last but not least, one other cruise news story today. Celebrity has announced a new class of cruise ships. So obviously the Edge class is done with the inaugural season coming up for Ascent, which is going to be slightly different than the rest of them. I do like the way that Royal Caribbean International does adapt the ships in the class as they learn things. So there will be some new features on Celebrity Excel. They haven't announced them all yet, and it's coming out in November 25, so they should start marketing for that pretty soon. There are new restaurants and drink concepts that it says, but nothing else there. Then they were really vague, but they said they have a new class coming out, which is called Project Nirvana at the moment. And that's going to be about 5 years out into the future. So I don't know what their plans are for the next couple years as far as launching ships, because they have some old ships that may kind of be going away. But it looks like it's not going to be out until 29 or 30. And obviously we haven't seen anything about it other than that yet. So we shall see what happens there. But Celebrity continues to impress people, although I do not like the infinite balconies. I do not like them at all. If you're going to have a balcony, I want to be able to go outside and actually have a balcony, not just roll my window down. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Does anybody like those infinite balconies? Let me know there. Also, I just realized I haven't planned anything for my Carnival trip yet. I have nothing. Hi, Nancy. Nancy said, what do you think about Royal Caribbean not giving anything for missed ports on the October 31st sailing? So, yeah, I get it. Look, everybody wants a refund. Obviously, you get port fees and taxes back if you miss a port. People want refunds. My feelings are the cruise lines have been super generous in the past with giving you money back if they miss a port due to weather or whatever. When in actuality, they don't have to give you any money back if it's bad weather. It's not their fault. We can't go to those ports. It's an act of God or nature, whatever you want to call it. But they don't have to do that. I think it's really nice when they do give you some type of an onboard credit. And I've always experienced that they have. I didn't know that they didn't give any refund back. What ports did you miss, Nancy? What ports were missed? Because I don't think I saw that. Obviously, like if it's perfect day or something in there, it was an issue with Royal, you should obviously get money back for that. But if it's like a hurricane, I mean, how many times can they continue to give? I mean, God knows they make enough money. I'm not sticking up for the cruise lines, but there's nothing that they need to give you back money. It's nice that they do. I don't want to say they should, but it's nice if they would. Tony said, bad thing I hear about infinite balconies. If you're in a hot, humid spot and open the window, there goes your AC. Yeah, the AC shuts off, obviously. If you roll the windows down, I don't love that. Same if you open your door on the balcony, but it's different because you can go outside. So, Yeah, I don't love the infinite balconies. To me, it's not my favorite kind of innovation that they've come up with. It does give you a slightly bigger room. I don't really care about that either. So not that big of a deal to me. Fred and Lisa said, I don't really care if they miss a port because there's always a good reason. Yeah, generally, look, if they miss a port because the propulsion system had an issue or because, they were doing something and they couldn't make it, then of course they should give you money back for that. That's on them. But if it's because of a hurricane or something and it's just not safe to go there, obviously, again, you're getting your port fees and taxes back for sure. But again, I hate to side with the cruise lines because they have the money to do it. But think about the outlay of cash to do that. If there's 5,000 people on board, they give everybody $50 back. That's a lot of money. So again, I think it's a nice gesture that they do it, and I like that they do it. But I can't really be mad at them for not doing it because of weather. It's kind of my feeling on it. I want to be mad at them, but I can't. Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate it. If everybody hits the like button. Hope said, love the sweatshirt. Thank you so much. Got it on our last trip up to Canada. It was amazing. Nancy said Coco Cay and Nassau. Yeah, look, Nassau, they should pay you not to go there. So I feel like they should give you a $50 onboard credit if you just stay on the ship in Nassau. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It's really nice if they do give you something. They're not required to. I wish they would, but I can't truly fault them for not giving you money back. But I get it. If I was on the cruise, I'd be disappointed about it. But I'd be disappointed that we didn't go, and I'd be disappointed that I didn't get some type of I wouldn't complain about it, but I'd be, not mad. I'm just disappointed. That. Cheryl said, don't like the infinite balcony. I agree with you. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I do like, however, I don't know if anybody stayed in one of the infinite view ocean views, like the ones with the big windows. Those are awesome. Although it does get hot in your room if it's sunny, but I like those. I like having the giant windows. Don't necessarily need a balcony. It's nice to get some sun, but is what it is. Laura said, we just got off the Oasis. It was a blast. Love it, Laura. Oasis, my favorite ship of all the ships. I'm glad you guys had a great time. That is awesome to hear. Nancy said, I'm glad not to have been in a hurricane. Many people were upset. I totally get it. Look, it's a bummer, especially when you miss 2 ports, right? If you miss 1, it's like, okay, we get an extra sea day. But if you miss 2 and the weather's bad and you're feeling crappy already, I totally get it. I get that people are upset, for sure. It's a catch-22, for sure. Friend Lisa said, I missed a port on Holland American. Someone got hurt. A lot of people were screaming, which I thought was selfish. Someone ended up dying. Yeah, exactly. Same with my cruise last year on Jubilee, right? So Jubilee, we're heading back. I'm sure everybody's heard the story. We got diverted. We had a medical thing on board. We wound up diverting like 6 or 7 hours out of the way. We wound up getting back to port 4 or 5 hours late. I missed my flight. I had to get another flight. Everybody was freaking out. The person died. I got home 6 hours later. Right? So stupid. Somebody lost a family member. Somebody lost a brother, father, mother, whatever they were. I think it was a man. So somebody lost their husband, whatever. And I'm going to sit there and complain because I got home a few hours later and I had to make a phone call to the airlines and change my flight. Actually, I didn't even have to call. I did it online. I had to change it up. And then it took me 2 hours to get to the airport, right? All those inconvenient things that we all think suck. And they do. But I'll take it over losing a family member. So yeah. Look, in the moment, I get it. We're all selfish. We all care about ourselves and having a good time. But I do try to have a little bit of perspective on these things. I've been on so many cruises where people have gotten hurt or somebody has died or there's somebody getting medevaced. It's a terrible situation when you go from being on vacation to dealing with tragedy. So I try to keep that perspective all the time. Laura said, next cruise on Mariner, 11:30. Any tips for Costa Maya? Yeah, the port there is awesome for now. You have about 6 months left of that port, so enjoy it. I love the port there. There are a few pools there. I don't recommend doing excursions in Costa Maya, Most of the things that you would do are a little bit far away from the port. Obviously, you could go to the ruins, but the Chacobin ruins, but that's a long day. It's like 4 hours of transport back and forth at a minimum. So if you've seen the Mayan ruins or you don't really care about the Mayan ruins, I would hang out in the port. If you go into the port, my advice is when you first go in, you're going to walk through the port area and you're going to see like a pool. It's where the guys do the show up on the pole where they spin around on the pole, not strippers, men hanging down, like swinging on this swing thing on a pole in there. And then if you keep going back through the port, there are more pools. And there's a big pool in the back that's really, really quiet that you could do there. Tony also had a great idea. If you are into doing like resort for a day or anything like that, Maya Chan is an awesome resort in near Costa Maya where you could do a resort for a day, which basically means that you book that kind of hotel. They will give you a room. Sometimes they'll give you a room or someplace at least to like change, drop your stuff. They will give you beach access. They'll give you access to the resort, to the restaurants, to the pool, to all those different things for the day. Those things are really fun. So that's a great one. That's the one that like Matt Hochberg recommends all the time, Maya Chan. It's awesome. It's a beautiful, beautiful resort. So check that out too. Mariner, also one of my favorite ships for being a little bit of a smaller ship. It's not a small ship, I get it. But I love Mariner. I love their promenade, playmakers on the promenade. They have it's not Pesky Parrot, but whatever the little bar is there that's like a tiki bar. I love it. It's a really cool promenade on Mariner. Bruce said, good morning. Can you book one Voom package on Royal and switch it on and off between two people? Booked a refreshment package and my wife booked refreshment package. Yeah, you can absolutely switch it. Royal, you can switch it. MSC, you cannot. MSC, you're locked into a device. Royal, you just go in, log off, and the other person can log in. No big deal. You just have to use the same username and password. No biggie, though. You can switch it to all different devices. I switch it to my iPad if I want to download something, or my computer if I have to upload something. So yeah, you're totally good there for that with Voom. You bet, Lar. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. I will speak for Tony. Our pleasure. So yeah, that's it for this morning. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. I hope your football team wins today. That's about it. We will be live on Wednesday. We will have our Royal Caribbean rep will be on with us. We'll talk about some fun things. That's about it. Tony said, no resort, beach, your own gazebo area, pool not heated, food and drinks all included. There you go. And transportation. So there you go. They pick you up at the port, take you over there. You get pool, food and drinks, and your own gazebo area by the beach. There you go. Good job, Tony. So I'll see everybody on Wednesday. The rest of this week, we have the rest of the Symphony, like the ship tour, 10 things you must do, and all those things coming out. Chef's Table coming out this week as well. And then we're going to start prepping for our Meraviglia cruise. And then remember, at the end of the year, we'll do our big countdown of all the things that we love this year, our favorite cruises, our favorite restaurants, our favorite ports, all of those fun things that we do every year. And at the end of the year, we will have our blowout again, where we give away a bunch of things, t-shirts, a bunch of swag that we've gotten that we haven't used over the course of the year. We'll give away everything, have a big blowout live stream at the end of the year. And next week, I'm going to start asking people again for your addresses. I think I have a lot from last year. We have a ton of addresses from last year, but I'll start asking people to send me their addresses so that we can send you Christmas cards. We're sending out Christmas cards in a few weeks, probably right when I get back, so you'll get them before Christmas. And that's it. Hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. Hope you all relax, enjoy the day. We have Thanksgiving in less than 2 weeks. Christmas is right around the corner. So everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Thanks, everyone. Have a great one. Bye.